I know we literally had a chat beforehand, so it'd probably be the same sort of things that you just repeat yourself. But yeah, from your perspective, just give an overview of how everyone done. And
literally couldn't have asked for anything more from literally the 7 boxers that actually box like that. They give a great account of themselves, very disciplined holding weight, especially over the 3 days. Yeah, they done really well out there, and to be honest, surprised me. A couple of the boys did, but it was a great weekend, a great experience for them, and a great experience for myself and the other 2 coaches that came out there. Yeah, definitely something that we're going to want to do again in the future. The boxers really enjoyed it, and so did we. From the first day, the weigh-in, obviously travelled over the day before the weigh-in. That was probably a real long day for them, waiting to obviously see for the matrix. The matrix was meant to be out at 3 o'clock, didn't get out until about 5. So we had a couple of the boys box on the first day, which was, if I remember correctly, it was Oscar and Logan. They boxed on the first day, boxed really well. Logan, first year as a boxer as well. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here today. He got called to work about half an hour before. But yeah, boxing internationally, first season as an amateur boxer as well, and composed himself in the first fight and dominated, to be fair, against one of their home boxers, a Swedish boxer. Same with Oscar. He had a 3-time national Swedish champion in the first round and went out there and dominated. So first day was a good day. We had everyone through into the semi-finals the next day, so that was fantastic. So we knew there was a lot to ask, but yeah. So the next day was actually 2 quarterfinals. Did James box the first day? Yes, sorry, James also boxed the first day, James Gardner. Yeah, so we had 3 in the first day, but all of them winning. James boxing really well on the first day as well. He kept behind a nice, strong, long jab. So they all rose to the occasion. It didn't get to them, obviously the flying, the transportation, getting checked in, and obviously weighing in the morning. So everything went really well, and the boys did perform really well on the first day.
Yeah, because it was just speaking to them, it was all their first international tournament, and I was saying to them, in front of a big crowd, because obviously they're going to be so used to probably fighting in some sort of smaller crowds. And the shows, and that was from the pictures that you sent, it was like arena. You got your different sort of rings and stuff.
Yeah, so there was arena, and there was 4 rings, literally on all 3 days. So yeah, it was kind of a big deal for them. I think they've only ever been used to maybe a standard 20-foot ring on a normal sort of home show. So the first day was really good. They were all really excited, having a few quarter-final wins, obviously going into the next day. So semi-finals day was a bag of a little bit of mixed emotions. We had 7 fights that day in total. Little Vinnie Lamport had to box twice, so he boxed earlier on in the day, beating a Hoddesdon boxer, and then later on that day, again boxing a Swedish boxer and winning. So he won twice. Obviously he wasn't able to make it today, but he boxed twice in the semi-finals day, won twice, so we had him through to the finals. Obviously we had Harrison box on the second day, boxed a really good kid, and yeah, he managed to get through to the finals as well on the second day. So that's Harrison, Oscar, Vinny was through, yeah, Oscar got through on the second day as well, beat another Swedish kid, and then it was James boxed later that evening in the gala, and unfortunately it would have been nice if he boxed this kid in the finals, because this kid, he's classy, but James can beat him. It is there. James definitely. It was a competitive bout. Sad to see him losing the semi-finals, but he still carried on being the captain he was throughout the full weekend, and was very supportive of all the boys while I was out there as well.
And helping corners as well.
Yeah, so on the finals day he did second and helped me out on the finals day. So he was still a part of it all in general. And the kid that beat him went and won the actual King of the Ring award. So he was the select boxer out of the 640 that was there that they thought had that little bit extra. So I think that was a bit of a boost, a morale boost for him to know that it wasn't just any old boxer that he lost to. It was a very competitive bout, and yeah, second day was a very long day. We started, the weigh-in was, I believe it's 7:30. Boxing started at 9. We didn't leave the venue that day until 10 o'clock. So yeah, it was very long day. Vinny boxing twice, which was fantastic, seeing him win, and all the other boys that won and got themselves to the finals. So on the finals day we managed to have 6 competing for medals, and we was lucky enough to have 3 golds and 3 silvers. So very, very well done from them. Props to Harrison, Logan and Vinny Lamport, literally to go there over the course of them 3 days and come away with gold was tremendous. But then also the same as Oscar, Tyke and Harry, they all had the experience. It was all out there. They all had to go through what each of the other boxers went through, and they came away with a silver and showed great performances. It wasn't like they'd done anything that I wouldn't have wanted them to do. They'd done cracking out there.
And the camaraderie, just speaking to them, it must be so nice for a select group of you guys that have gone out, and the closeness and all cheering each other on and supporting each other.
So everyone was, they stayed around, everyone was obviously morale, everyone was hyped. It was a great weekend, and it probably brought a lot of the boxers closer to one another. They may not talk as much when they're training, when they're in the gym, but now ever since they got back, they have to separate them, because there's a bit more banter between them. They've grown together and they've had an experience together, so they've done really well. And for the club, one of the first time that we went out there and done it, it's a great sort of report to have the first sort of time coming back from there, and we definitely plan on doing it next year and the coming years as well.
That's what I was going to say to you. We already sort of kind of got that in your mind to do that next year.
Yeah, well, this time it was like kind of all new. We didn't know what was going to go on. We didn't know how things worked. But going out there and seeing how well it was run, how friendly the people are out there, the officials, and the actual venue itself was perfect, superb. Couldn't really fault it, if I'm going to be completely honest, and everyone else enjoyed themselves. They've had a great experience.
It's the main thing, that they got the experience, enjoyed themselves. Everyone took something away from it.
Definitely, I took maybe
you guys.
A bit of a headache, to be fair, on the last day, but yeah, it was fantastic. It took a few days to recover from it, because obviously the tired. So it was very draining over them 3 days for myself. So obviously the boys, they was obviously very drained as well.
But for you guys, because the boys get to sort of have a break, whereas you're sort of cornering.
Yeah, we was cornering. We was having to get up in the morning, obviously, a light training session in some of the mornings in case they needed to get a little bit of weight off. And then obviously them eating the right foods and making sure they're ready mentally throughout the day as well. A couple of the boxers did do that. They took themselves back to the hotels, had a rest, and came back hour and a half just before the bout to get themselves in the right sort of mindset. So it was a draining experience, but they'd done themselves proud and definitely done the club proud. The club really are happy with them and done an incredible job at that.
And on to the next, you've got a home show, haven't you, on December 6th?
So yeah, we've got our home show in 2 weeks' time in the Laughaway Stadium, Woking Football Club. So we're going to be trying to get quite a few of the boys out there. At least a couple of 3 of the boys that was out in Sweden will be boxing again as well. So if anyone does want to come down, watch some nice competitive amateur boxing, then more than welcome. You can get a ticket on the door, and it's always a great atmosphere there, and it's always a pleasure to have you there filming as well.
I love it, it's brilliant. creative fight. So fantastic. So I look forward to that. But no, cool. It's brilliant again talking to you, and hopefully we'll come next year and follow you guys.
Yeah, get you out there next year and make a bit more of a thing of it.
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
Cool. No,
Cheers.